Captain on the bridge.
Alright, captains, we are back on the bridge, and today we have the third ship in our lower decks lineup, and it is the SH'HVAL. Yes. So much yes. I have been super excited ever since I saw this ship on lower decks, that episode where it saved the Cerritos from the Packleads and the Klingon attack. The last two videos, it was the Parliament and the Cerritos, so we saved, I don't say the best for last, but I've never been really into the Vulcan design. For some reason, whether it be because I love lower decks or how it saved lower decks, because the scene that it was in, it had a lot of pew-pews in it. And that's what we are trying to emulate with this build. So what we're going to do is go over the build, the weapons, space set, consoles, traits, stations, DOFs, take it into Elite Argyle and see how it does. But captains, I have already been flying this for a couple nights, and let me tell you, I mean, well, yes, that F, but it's just been super fun. It is such a fun ship. Fly. So here we go. So I named it the VSS SH'HVAL. Sorry, SH'HVAL. So it's the SH'HVAL Temporal Science Spearhead. So here we go. What we tried to do here is emulate what we saw on screen. Now, it's not 100% perfect, obviously. Hard to translate some things, and you kind of have to stoify your build here on in-game to make it work, but it works well enough for me. So here we go. 4 weapons. We did the ever-loving gravimetric photon torpedo, which I love, and it has killed me a couple times, so hopefully it doesn't do that in this run, but if it does, meh. This comes from your Dyson rep. The Terran Task Force Photon Torpedo. Also comes from your Terran rep. And the Quantum Phase Torpedo. Now, when we saw this warp in, it definitely was firing quantum torpedoes and a couple of photon torpedo spreads. This is why we have this going on. For the beam that was shooting, I decided just to go with the Federation Phaser Beam Array 32nd Century. Rolled to crit DM damage 4. Now this I got from the exchange. It is somewhat a sort of greenish color. Now this ship, when you first unbox it, came with plasma weapons. I don't have plasma weapons on my main tune, so I decided to go with something sort of greenish, and this works well enough for me. But it is a torp heavy build, so that's what we're running with in the 4 weapons. The deflector, nothing too different. Elite Fleet Intervention Protomatter Deflector from your Colony Fleet. For the Sec Def, the Deteriorating Secondary Deflector, I just bought this off the exchange a long time ago. Impulse is the Prevailing Innervated Impulse from your Competition rep. The Mycela Harmonic Matter Antimatter Core, which comes from the Discovery rep. Paired, of course, with the Tilly's Review Pending Modified Shield, also from the Discovery rep. Now, the aft weapons. This is what we decided to do here, and I haven't done this yet. So, this was fun. So we have the Prolonged Engagement Photon Torpedo here in the aft. This is from your Phoenix Prize pack that you can get. I believe it's a very rare. Or maybe they may have moved it to the ultra rare, but easy enough photon to get. And then the Wide Angle Quantum Torpedo, which is from the Sovereign, from any version of the Sovereign in the Sea Store. The reason why I have these two in the aft is these can fire broadside. And of course, we paired it up again with another beam because we don't have... I originally had this with a mine, but we didn't see it with a mine. We just saw it firing beams and torps, so this is what we're going to go with. So I just stuck another Federation Phaser Beam Array 32nd Century. Same thing, re-rolled crit DM damage 4. Devices. We got some Torp Candy. Captains, you know we love our Torp Candy. Plus 30% bonus projectile damage for 20 seconds. A Temporal Negotiator to help with our cooldowns. The Kobayashi Maru for its buff goodness. Consoles here, we got the Bio Neural Infusion Circuits from your low-buy store. The opening salvo. This just felt right because, well, we all know this is my favorite console, but we also know that this comes from the Tier 6 Titan, which is from, say it with me, Lower Decks. So why not? Yes, why not? We decided to use the Tricobalt Tear Launcher because it also has sort of quantum looking torpedoes, but it also looks cool. So that's why we're using it. We are going to be using the console that comes with the ship, and I have been having so much fun with this. This, when I first read it from the blog, I was like, what? 20 clicks. Yes, this will teleport you 20 clicks from your target to the target once you activate it and you have the target locked. And it just does some good stuff there. So its bonuses is +3 shield power setting. Shields, cute. +22.8 Starship Shield Restoration, improved shield healing, +22.8 Starship Shield Regen, but intercept and redirect. So it's a teleport, it's a taunt, reinforce, and regen shield. So it teleports in front of the target. It sometimes teleports you sideways. It's kind of funny. 5 nearest allies gain untargetable / unkillable because you're taunting it for 2 seconds. That's cute. Taunt up to 5 foes within 10 clicks for 15 seconds, but to sell for 15 seconds, plus 2,762.7 shield restored each second, automatically distribute shield facings, shield subsystem power set to 150, and it's a 2-minute recharge. Now, the visual on this is pretty much almost the same visual that you see on Lower Decks. Now, the Lower Decks, though, it had its shields sort of kind of conform to the ship. Unfortunately, here they just make it a bubble. I was talking to Spencer earlier there, and it would have been nice if they would have done that, but I don't think they can. But still, I like it. It's fun. It's from the show. We're gonna go with it. And Captains, you will see it has a pretty nice looking visual. Continue on here, the Ordnance Accelerator from your Gamma Rep, because it gives us +26.3 projectile and phaser damage, so nothing to sneeze at there. Airfluid hydraulic assembly for the -5 shared torpedo recharge time from your Terran rep. We're going to use the Domino. Usually I put this more on my energy beam builds that are heavy on beams, but this is going to help us with the phaser for the 15% phaser damage. But Domino, as we know, it is plus weapon damage, plus haste, and extends the kills 2 seconds every time you kill an NPC. But again, see all that bonus there, 25% for 5 cycling haste, bonus all damage, recharge speed for bridge officer abilities, and 100% recharge speed for torpedo weapons. So why not? Again, if you defeat a foe, +2 seconds for the duration to all effects. Woohoo! Yes! This comes from your Bajoran Interceptor, which is an epic tier in your Phoenix prize pack. Of course, the two here, we're going to be lost without them. Not really. I just have them, so I use them. Dynamic Power Redistributor Module, 11.3 all damage resistance rating, plus 19% directed energy damage. It's going to help a little bit our phaser there. Phasers. Bonus damage there. It's a good clicky. So for 20 seconds, plus 40% bonus damage, plus 100 bonus damage resistance rating, and plus 500% hull regen. This comes from your Atlas, the prototype Dreadnought, which you can get from your event campaign reward. We're pairing it up with the Point Defense Bombardment Warhead for the plus 25% projectile damage, 1% crit chance. But pairing these both, yes, we can protect that too. It is going to give us 33% phaser damage, so it's going to help our beams again. This comes from any version of the NX. The last two consoles here, we got the Quantum Warhead module, again, because it was firing quantums. Why not use this? Because I do like the visual of this, and we're just going to spit out torp goodness with this. This comes from your Valiant / Defiant. Therefore, the plus 11.7% torpedo damage. And then lastly, same kind of visual as these Quantum Warhead module. It's the multi-directional artillery barrage from your Smexy Lexi, aka Lexington, from the 12th anniversary Terran bundle. plus 20% all damage with projectile weapons, so it's going to help us. Plus 7.5 maximum hull capacity. And then it's a multi-directional artillery barrage. The more enemies you have there, the more bonus damage you'll get, so yes. So there it is. Stat-wise, this gives us a crit chance of 35% and crit severity of 178.2. Captains, keep in mind, I do have my Pendevers all the way up to 600. That's going to help us. That is going to help us. Our skills, nothing too different. Specialization is still Intel primary and temporal operative secondary. Traits, this is what we went with. A good day to die. Adaptive offense, self-modulating fire. Inspirational leader. Kinetic precision. Superior projectile training. Unconventional systems. Terror and targeting systems, intelligence agent attaché. I always feel like I'm going to screw that one up. And of course, why not, the Boimler effect. Just feels kind of right. Our starship traits, carrier wave shield hacking. When we activate, of course, the tractor beam, because it's a Federation thing-ish to do. We're going to take off the shields and give them plus 30% kinetic damage with the tractor beam, so why not? More kinetic damage. Woohoo! Universal designs for all that goodness there. Ceaseless momentum, entwined tactical matrices or ETM, and subspatial warheads. Space rep, precision, advanced targeting systems, omega kinetic shearing, torpedo pre-fire sequence for its goodies, and Tyler's duality. Active space rep, nothing too different here. Anti-time entitlement singularity, biomolecular shield gen, force challenge, quantum singularity, and refractory tetron cascade. Our stations left to right, top to bottom. This is what we ended up doing. And captains, you know, I was really excited when I read the blog here. It had command. I was like, yes, yes. Sorry. Chemosite, lace weaponry, attack pattern beta, and of course concentrate firepower 3. Beam fire at will, cannon scatter volley, and high yield 3. So not only do we have concentrate firepower and high yield 3, there's double the potential of me killing myself with my high yield gravimetric torpedo 3. So I have to be careful with that. Emergency power to engines. What we did here in the temp seating here, we went tractor beam, Heisenberg, delayed overload cascade 3, because this just knocks the enemy away from each other, and it's awesome. I like that visual, actually. Recursive shearing, or stop hitting yourself. Jam targeting sensors, and scramble sensors. So that's 1, 2, 3. Yes, only 4 unconventional procs. So not that bad. Not that bad. So our dopes, we go to our dopes. Of course, we have the 2 ground helping us in space. Neil Falconer gives us more damage when we fight the Borg. Elder Malikatan, more damage when we fight everyone. And of course, our space projectile weapons officer. Actually, we can probably change this one. Don't have minds on this, so we'll do this right now. We'll do this live. We'll do this now. Because why not? I can probably put another energy weapons officer, because kabam. So 2 projectile weapons officer, that'll give us a chance to stack crit severity when we fire projectiles. And we got 2 energy weapons officers with a chance for stacking crit chance and crit severity when we fire our energy weapons. Emergency con officer, or recharging evasive maneuvers, the EBC maneuvers when emergency power to engines is activated, and of course, another Brad Boimler. Well, not another. Well, maybe we can. Sure, why not? Toxic clouds from torpedoes. So it's a torpedo boat. So there it is. Let's just do a quick save here because we did actually change something. Loadouts. Save to Chevator. Put this delete because we are going to take this into an elite Argala. So that is a build. Again, we try to somewhat emulate what we saw with the green beams, photons, quantums. It's never going to be 100%. But like I said, we have to sterify that. So let's take it to the Argala, see how it does. Remember, captains, who's with us? Picard and Riker. The Argala. Go.
Ensign, take us out of here. Maximum warp.
Aye, sir.
Engage.
Oof. That warp out. So good. So good. There you go, captains.
Tactical alert. Vessel approaching, bearing 184, Mark 7.
All hands. Battle
Yes,
stations.
Picard and Riker kind of borrowed the ship. Okay. Check this out. Check this out, captains.
Weapons hot, deflectors deployed.
And then you get that cool visual. It's a really good looking visual. Again, it doesn't conform to the ship, but that's okay. I don't think they can do that yet here. And some torp goodness, we're using the window just for the visual. That's get some aft torp action going. Woohoo! I like hear lower decks music here in my head. Especially when it does that jump. Oof, so good.
You have entered a new. Looks like our fight
Favor
got
major
them to
buffs
notice
here.
us. Let's go over and ask if their boss might come out of hiding.
And the torp goodness coming. Woohoo! Tell me that doesn't look good. Oh! Got your magic device. Be careful.
Keep concentrating fire on individual ships. Separate them. Whittle down their numbers.
My problem is I fly around like a headless chicken. I do like the sound of that quantum phase. Sounds like a shotgun in space. Or maybe. See? Shotgun. Oh, grab a magic torch. If I was moving, I bet you that would have hit me. There's that tricobal. It just looks so pretty. Okay, we have that console up again from the ship,
You
so
will
let's use it.
stand down and surrender to the Benton Guard.
Order impulse.
Sensors are picking up small habitations in some of the asteroids. Possibly consistent with Vulcan's temporary hideout.
Shield down. Patience. Just torque goodness. And stream up. Let me grab the magic devices.
We do what
That
we
is how
want,
Triz kills
where
himself,
we
okay?
want.
Like for a dreadnought, it feels very nimble for its size. Too close!
Picked up a tight beam transmission on a new frequency. We're jamming that spectrum of their comms now, but it was probably a call for assistance.
The Lexi quantum torp. Woo-hoo. Hi.
I'm taking you.
Alright, last
with
group.
me.
Here we go. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Let's buff up. Open the salvo. Look at that. Head out. Any ships here? Goodness. Take it out. Half torques. Boom.
That's got
Woo!
it. Excellent.
Yes.
We'll send over a pacification party. Take the suspect
Nice.
into
There we
custody.
go. All right, let's go over here. Captain, we're gonna do
Thank
our.
you for your
Excuse me, sir.
assistance.
Later. Turn that off. We're gonna take our shelfies. Captain, if you don't know, those are our ship selfies. Find a good angle here. Here. And right about there. Look at that. Oof. Well, there you go, captains. That is how the SH'HVAL did. I cannot be more happy that I do have all the lower deck ships. So we have the Parliament, which captains, you know, have had that for the longest. Enjoyed it. Have now the California class / the Cerritos, and now, of course, the SH'HVAL. So that's all 3 lower decks that we have, ships that we have in our fleet, and I could not be happier. This is an R&D ship, but I said it before, you can possibly get the ship in next year's event campaign if you can be patient, and or buy those R&D packs, sell them on the exchange for the EC as much as you can, and at least you can guarantee your ship. I highly recommend this ship. I really do love it. I wasn't into the whole Vulcan design, and I have mentioned this in some videos before. I was gonna get the Kier, which is a tier 5 ship, but I didn't end up getting it. I was gonna get it as a placeholder for the ship, but then the ship came out earlier than I thought and expected. But it's a happy accident that this came out a little sooner. It's okay. I'm super happy with the ship and the way it performs. Of course, if you put a Metatorp or Sci-Fu magic on this, it'll do well. But you know, captains, the only thing we do here on the bridge here is just have fun. And any of the builds that I do are just for me. So it's just good enough for our nightly PP shenanigans, which of course, captains, I invite you to the Twitch bridge for the PP shenanigans. Cannot be more happier, like I said, that I have all 3 ships from lower decks in our fleet to have fun. So there are captains. Like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the YouTube bridge, and we will leave it on this note.
Don't let them promote you. Don't let them transfer you. Don't let them do anything that takes you off the bridge of that ship, because while you're there, you can make a difference.